All right, guys, here we are inside of the actual session. Now, this isn't the actual recording session from that day. This is just all of the audio that was recorded into his microphone when he was going through the whole entire recording session. You can see I have things kind of labeled here with these markers. You can see in this field, this is when he was getting his ideas. Right around here, he starts to find the chorus. Right in this section is where he finally records the first chorus. Then over here, we get into the first verse, some of the higher notes when he starts singing the higher notes. Then he records the second chorus and then the second verse. And then at the very end of the session, he records some intro stuff and some ad-libs and things like that. So let's just kind of jump in and you can kind of see what his approach was when he was going in and recording this song.
Yeah.
So you can tell, obviously, he's just got the beat playing in his headphones and he's just in the booth and he's wanting to capture his ideas right off the jump. So in case something comes to mind, he can just sing it out into the microphone and he's able to capture that idea right then and there and go back and listen and be like, oh, actually, that was something cool. Sometimes those ideas that come to mind right off the bat will come to mind and then be gone before you ever even notice them. So it's really important to be able to capture them in that exact moment. So you can hear here, he's just kind of humming along, trying to find melodies that he likes and things that really kind of get catchy and stuck in his head to find that chorus, right? Which is a lot of time what people do when they're just writing rhymes, actually physically writing them too. However, in this case, he's just kind of freestyling.
Yeah, I went on a rail. Oh, I went on a side, then I dare. Oh, I went on a bad, then I fell. I went on a lies, then I dare.
Now, it sounds kind of funny because, Lil Uzi Vert is already a mumble rapper, but in this case, he's literally just mumbling gibberish, like absolute gibberish. There's no words or any context in here whatsoever, but the important thing is he's just trying to capture a vibe or figure out where the pocket is, right? When you're listening to this beat, what's a cool melody? What's something that's really going to just get stuck in your head? So you can hear him just playing around with different ideas throughout this whole section here, and it's really interesting just to kind of break down what was his mind thinking and how did he actually get to that final hook that we all know and have stuck in our heads every time we hear this dang song, right?
I went on the last, then I dare. I went on a fight, then I mirror. Oh, I might give that 9 that I dare. I went on the side, and I jeer.
Now, like I said, it sounds pretty funny when you listen to it just in this context. You're not hearing any of the beat or anything like that, but he's just kind of gibbering around and trying to find something that works.
Connected like cable. Oh, I went on the side, then I straight off. Oh, I went on up now, just like Fredo. Oh, tats on my face, just like Fredo. I went in my side, then I gave up. Oh, I went in my fat, then I bet off.
I think it's interesting to hear kind of at the tail end here.
I went in on side, and I almost.
So you can see he's catching on. He's telling the engineer, "Hey, I'm almost there. Like we're finding it. We're finding it. Give me a few more seconds. Run it back. Run it back."
Had to put some shooters on my payroll. Oh. Yeah, I went in my side.
So now he's experimenting with certain lines, right? But again, none of this is solid. None of this is the final takes. He's just like getting ideas, seeing what works, what words fill into these little pockets here and match these melodies he's singing.
Had to put some shooters on my payroll. Yeah, I went in on set, then I made up.
So you can see he just kind of messes around here for like the first 5 minutes of the session, just jamming, listening to things, trying to find things. Let's pump up here to where he kind of starts to find the main melody of the hook, right?
I went on all that I went on all that line.
You can hear his chains in there on the microphone. That's always a nice little touch. Sometimes the engineers would be like, "Hey, what are you doing, man? We need to get that sound out of here." But it honestly adds a lot of character and a lot of just rawness to the vocal, which is always cool to hear.
I went on all that line. I went on the dash, put me on the edge, put me on the edge, put me up. I went on that, I went on that, I went on that, put me on the edge. What's up?
He's getting close. He's finding it.
In all dead, put me to the edge. Yeah, they're all dead. Push me to the edge. Yeah, they're all dead. I said, push me to the edge. Yeah, they're all dead. I said, put me to the edge. Yeah, they're all dead. I said, put me to the edge.
So he's obviously liking this idea. He's finding something. He's like, oh man, this is catchy. I can sing it over and over and it feels right. That's when you know you're onto something, right? And you can kind of massage that into something more.
I said put me to the edge, yeah they all dead. It's a not bed, I'm not lead. I got all that money, this Rick Gone's bad.
He's also kind of finding some of the melodies from the verse right here. He seems like he's finding things that he's gonna like and keep in his back pocket, so to speak. Let's fast forward here a bit, hear him get into this a bit more.
Oh, I don't wanna change, I don't wanna change no more. I went on the veins, I went on the vein no more. I don't wanna money in the vein no more. Like, whoa, I don't wanna vein no more. When I bad, yeah, I went on my bad rider.
Now, I know I'm kind of jumping around through this session, but that's because I'm trying to get to certain points and really talk about them. If you guys want to check out this whole entire session, it's about 50 minutes long. I imagine that's not the live time. Obviously, there's some sections in here where he probably went back and was listening to the song and stuff, which they've cut out. This is pretty much just the actual time he's on the mic. But either way, if you want to listen to this full session, I'll leave a link down in the description so you can check it out in more detail. But I'm just trying to jump to certain parts and really call out things that stood out to me when I heard this.
I should never lie.
Oh, here we go. He's getting a lot closer.
You lie. Really care if you cry.
Oh, here we go.
I don't really care if you cry. I don't really care cause you lied. I don't really care if you cry. I don't really care if you cry. Only when you lie.
Oh yeah, see, that's when he found that melody. He's like, ooh, this is hitting. This is gonna be something. Let's keep it rolling.
I don't really care if you cry, only because you have to cry.
See, now he's just punching in and he's talking to his engineer. So this is something very interesting too, I noticed, is how much he's communicating with his engineer. As he's getting these ideas out of his head, he's having to basically just pump things out as quick as possible, and that engineer needs to be just like on it when it comes to giving him exactly what he needs when he needs it. If he's like, hey, give me another take, punch me in right there, start me over, it's like if the engineer's taking too long, he's going to miss something magic, which is kind of giving me a little bit of a hint into some of my takeaways here. But for now, let's just keep listening as he's finding this as he's finding this chorus here.
That's when you shouldn't have lied. What's up? I know you lie. Show me where your loyalty lies. I don't really care if I die. I don't really care if I die. I don't really care if I die.
So he's finding the first half of the chorus. He already kind of found that, all my friends are dead, push me to the edge. He seems like he already kind of found that part earlier. And so now he's just kind of piecing these together. Let's jump up here when he actually starts kind of recording this.
All my friends are dead, push me to the edge. She said, Uzi, come and look me in my eyes. Cause I don't care if I really die. Put me to the edge. All my friends are dead, push me to the edge.
Okay, he's getting it. He's getting it.
I don't really care if I die. I don't really care if I die.
You can also tell he's like switching the lyrics up every time. Like maybe he's not happy with the final lyric, or he's just like, any of these kind of work. Let's just spit one out, and whichever take is the best, that's what the lyric's going to be. I mean, who knows? Some people are much more picky and storytellers, which is more of like the planning type of writers. But when it comes to freestyling, sometimes it's just, hey, what sounds good? What feels good, right? Don't think much, just feeling that vibe and getting out those ideas organically.
My friends are dead. All my friends are dead.
So here he's actually starting to record it. And so he's like, okay, I got the idea. Let's start punching in each part one at a time until I've got this whole thing pieced together. And you'll be able to hear the actual take that is on the record because, I mean, it's iconic sounding and you can just tell right away, oh, that wasn't the take. This one is.
I don't really care if you cry. On the real, you should never lie. Almost.
So he's like, run it back.
I don't really care if you cry.
See, that sounds really familiar to me, which tells me this is probably the one that they used for the chorus because that I don't really care if you cry. On the real, you shouldn't never lie. Keep it up. See, he liked that. He's like sparking up his blunt. Let me hear that back. Let me hear that.
I don't really know where our loyalty lies. Oh, what's that? Where our loyalty? On the real, don't know where our loyalty lies. What's that? Oh no.
See, now he's just trying different lyrics.
On the real, don't know where our loyalty lies.
That doesn't really fit as well.
On the real, don't know where our loyalty lies. What's up? Should've saw the way she looked me in my eye. What's up?
He's like, yep, that fits hella easier.
Should've saw the way she looked me in my eye. What's up? Should've saw the way. Should've saw the way she looked me in my eyes.
See, as an engineer, this is like something I'd be hearing the artists in the booth, and I'm like, oh, you're close, but you don't want to give feedback. This is their ideas, right? So it's like, hey, just let them keep running, and then boom, as soon as he hit that one, it's like, yep, that's the one. That sounds good mixed with this take up here.
I don't really care if you cry. Should've saw the way she looked me in my eye.
Boom, we got the chorus.
Said that I ain't really scared to die. All my friends are dead. Push me to the edge. What's up?
He's finding it. See, so at this point, literally, it's like he just sang it right for the first time right here, but he's like, yeah, we're going to keep that. And then he went and listened back, and he's like, yep, that's it. That's the final take. That's like the final lead verse.
She said, baby, I am not afraid to die. What's up?
Or not lead verse, lead vocal for the chorus here.
She said, baby, I am not afraid to die. Push me to the edge. All my friends are dead.
See, that's
push me to the edge.
That's the final take.
All my friends are dead. Push me to the edge. All my friends are dead. Push me to the edge.
Boom, and now he's on to the verse, right? So it's like whole hook is already finished, and we're only like 13 minutes into this session. Now, again, this could have been a little longer, but it's like in 10 minutes he's got a chorus, and he's like, yeah, let me hear that. Sound and fire. Let's go in and get a solid verse now, right?
I've been on mess. Okay, I'm a list. Okay, I'm a desk. Okay, I'm a vest. Crazy like run our test. I'm in the mess.
Okay, so it's the same thing here. He's just kind of playing with ideas and figuring out, now what do I want to do for the verse? And it's just like piecing 4 bars at a time. He's not like stringing together huge things he's already wrote in the past. He's just kind of gibbering around. And he's just kind of, getting ideas out on the fly, just freestyling just random ideas and seeing what sounds best.
Phantom, that's all red. Seesaw white like something that you ride down on your sled. Okay, I told that girl to come over, give me head.
It's funny, too, to hear the lyrics because it's hard to understand him in this song. He's got such mumbly kind of lyrics and just a style, but it's funny to hear some of these lyrics that didn't make the cut.
My phantom all red. Inside's all white like something you... What's up? My phantom all red.
See, he like wants his voice to be more like whiny like that. It's like it adds to that flair, right? It's like he's not trying to overpronounce things. He's going for that mumble sound.
My phantom all red. Inside's all white like something you ride a sled down. I got all right. What's up? I can't fuck potato head. What's in the net? I can't hit potato. I can't hit potato head. Oh, you got a knife.
Potato head.
I went on, I get down, I'ma fuck the bath. We gon' knock our bed down, I'ma know I laugh.
So you can see this is how he's piecing things together. He does this for about, from 13 minutes to like 22-ish minutes.
She leave you, won't leave me, I call it that guy. No. I like the way that she treat me, she leave you with done. I like the way that she treat me.
See, listen how much he's talking to his engineer back and forth, just trying, screwed up, one more time, just saying one more time. And the engineer needs to be like, and run it back and just, you gotta be on your toes with these type of sessions.
I like the way that she treat me, she leave you with done. I like the way that she treat me. I went over and I found a man, driving on, you got lean, dog. I took a Zanny, I love it, I got no money,
I think he's just trying to find the rhythm here, right? There's no melody, just he's just trying to find what fits well.
I
He's about to get into these high notes.
Got a slow brain, I'm no insane, I was on the zane, I was on the pain, I was on the pain, I was on the pain, I was. What's up? She said I'm insane, yeah, I might blow my brain. What's up?
Oh yeah, so as soon as he gets into these high notes, he's like, oh yeah, this is a vibe. Let's switch things way up.
And it was a day I was. All right. And it may go away, and it may go already.
I mean, it's funny. It's funny.
Zanny, make it go away. Zanny, keep on slowing me. I mean, always over there. Oh, always over there. Oh. Yeah, Zanny, please help me go away. Zanny, help me go away. Zanny, keep on slowing me.
Let's find the final take.
Zanny, make it go away. Zanny, please make it go away. What's up? Please, Zanny, make it go away. What's up? Please, Zanny, make it go away. Almost. Please, Zanny, make it go away.
There it was. Perfect.
I'm committed, not a dating, but it keep controlling me. Oh, where's that over?
What the hell did he just say?
Where's that over? Where's that over? Oh, where's that over? Where's that over?
Yeah, of course, me too.
I'm committed, not addicted, but it keep controlling me.
I don't really care. Oh, my bad. Just started vibing. But that's where he goes into the second chorus, which the second chorus, he doesn't just copy and paste from the first one. He's all in this high register now with this high singing voice like that. So now he's got to hit the chorus with that same type of register. Otherwise, it's going to sound like just not fitting.
All the pain, I can feel it, the way that it's slowing me. Almost. All the pain, I can feel it, that's where that is slowing me.
Once he gets it right, you can tell there's just certain characteristics to the voice where it's like, oh man, it sounds iconic. It doesn't just sound boring or whatever. It sounds.
All the pain, I can feel it, that's where that is slowing me.
His voice kind of almost cracks right there, but it sounds sick. Like it's angsty. It sounds emotional, and it has just feeling to it, which music has got to have feeling.
Yeah, I don't really care if you cry.
And now he's hitting that hook, which he already knows. He knows the hook really well. Now he's just going to sing it a different way.
Honoration never lie. Almost. Honoration never lied.
Subtle way.
Subtle way she looked me in my eye. What's up?
So yeah, okay. This is getting into the second chorus, which is pretty much the same in the verse. Let's listen to some of these ad-libs in the intro real quick, just to kind of show you how he went about these. Obviously, the song's pretty much pieced together at this point, and he probably just listened through the whole thing and just started doing an ad-lib take.
Alright, I'm quite alright. My money right, yeah. Lies, eyes, lows. One more time from the top. Skirt. Yeah.
Classic ad-libs.
Ooh. One more time. I'm doing alright, I'm quite alright, my fans alright. I'm doing alright, I'm quite alright, my fans alright.
Let's see if we can find the actual.
Got my money over to the top, over the my bitch, I'm falling over. I love that part. Yeah.
See hear that? He's like, I love that part.
I love that part. No, one more.
He's just vibing to this.
Are you alright? I'm alright. I'm quite alright. And my money's right. Yeah.
That was the intro right there. That's the actual take.
Got my bitch over to the top, so it be falling over. Yeah. Got my bitch over to the top, so it's falling over.
Let's hear some of these.
Then it made the pain. Wait. Me. Slowing me.
So pretty much just classic ad-libs responding to his phrases that he said in the verses and choruses. And then at the very end here, you can see he's recording an Apple Music version just to have a second variation for Apple Music, which I'm actually not 100% sure why he did this. Maybe it's a, censored version or a radio-friendly version.
Phantom, that's all red. Inside all white, like something you ride a sled down. I just want that head. I didn't want that head. I got it.
All right, so that session is pretty interesting to see, right? I mean, it's just interesting to see inside the mind of a creative as they're kind of sculpting something, especially a song that is well known as this one, right? We all know this song, we've all heard it thousands of times, but to hear how he actually came up with this song and just kind of did it all on the fly, just so randomly it seems, but here it is to show you that it doesn't really take a lot of effort or a lot of extra work that you might think to get a smash hit. I mean, this thing was on the Billboard Top 100s for quite a few months in the summertime of 2017, which again is a while ago now, but either way, there's some solid things that we can take away from this. And the first thing I would take away is going to be capturing a moment, or really focusing on capturing that vibe, right? When this freestyle approach is what you're going for, it's all about capturing that moment, or the magic of that particular day. Maybe you are a little bit sad or a little bit angry from work, a relationship issue, something going on where there's a little more emotion and a little bit more grit in your voice. And that comes through in this particular recording. That's what we're looking for, right? If for whatever reason you were just recording this on your phone, or recording this on just like a little voice recorder or something to get some ideas out, there may be a chance that you got the actual take that you want to use on the final record, but now that you recorded it into kind of a crappy quality device, you're not going to be able to utilize that vocal like you would have had you been in the actual booth recording on a nice professional mic. So I can't stress enough the importance of capturing that moment the first time that you're hearing it if you're going for this freestyle approach. I think a lot of artists wouldn't even want to hear the beat for the first time until they have headphones on a microphone, so that the second the beat hits them, if they feel an idea, they can capture it, and it's going to be captured at a high quality so that it can actually be used if they needed to be. This actually brings me right into the second point, which is going to be speed is everything. Now you can see that this applies in a couple different things, right? From the engineer's speed, from how quickly he's able to finagle and get his way through the session. As soon as Lil Uzi was like, yo, run it back one more time, or get me a new take, get me a new track, something like that, the engineer needs to be on point and very speedy so that he's not ruining that creative flow that Lil Uzi Vert's feeling, right? Imagine if you're in the booth and you have this crazy idea come to mind and you're like, yo, give me another take, and the engineer takes like 2 minutes to create you a new track, add auto-tune, add all these effects and all this stuff, and in that moment you forgot the idea that you were trying to record. Boom. Now the engineer's at fault for ruining the session and possibly the whole entire day for that artist, right? The important thing to take away here though is having a clean and organized session so that you can easily jump around and get ideas out with as little thought as possible, which is why I love using recording templates and presets, because these type of things just are huge time savers and help you just get inspiration and creativity out without having to think about things and taking a lot of time setting up. A recording engineer should be able to come in, open up a recording template that has all of the tracks that they need, all of the effects they're going to need, and everything organized and color-coded so that as soon as the artist steps in the booth, you can just start recording things instantly. Now, especially if you're recording your own music and you are your own engineer, then this is even more important because you don't want to be sitting there trying to mess around with your session while you're trying to get these ideas out. You want to know that you can just quickly hit record and capture that idea right on the spot. So speed is an essential factor when it comes to having this type of freestyle method down. And one of the best ways to improve your speed is by utilizing a proper recording template and possibly some recording presets for vocal presets to at least give you ideas and get inspiration when you're in the booth. I use recording templates more for saving time as far as setting everything up, and I use presets more for getting inspiration, cool vocal effects, cool things, ear candy, stuff like that on the fly without having to do much mixing. Just quick one-click presets. I'm able to get inspiration going in the booth so that the ideas start flowing naturally. So if you aren't recording with a recording template, you can actually check that first link down in the description and download my free home studio toolkit. This is a free download for you if you would like, which includes 5 recording templates and a couple of other goodies that should help you speed up your recording workflow, and it's 100% free. So just click that link down in the description to download yours today. And if you're looking to improve your sound even further than that and get that industry quality sound, check out that second link in the description where you can see all of my mixing presets and templates that I use on a day-to-day basis when mixing every artist that I work with. All right, guys, let's get into the third thing that I took away from this session, which is going to be focusing on just catchy melodies and just getting a really cool sound more than focusing on words or lyrical content. So oftentimes when I see artists step into a booth or into a writing session, a lot of times they have a notebook out and they're starting to write rhymes, right? These people are more poetic or storytellers, or maybe just on their free time they enjoy writing, and so a lot of times a lot of their ideas they're already going to have jotted down on paper, and this is great, but a lot of times I think the focus should be on capturing the right pocket, right energy, and right melody for that particular song, and then later going and adding the perfect words. I like how Lil Uzi Vert goes in and kind of just is humming and mumbling around with different melodies until he finds something that he's like, hey, this fits really well and it's super catchy. As soon as I hear that melody, it just gets stuck in my head, right? It's almost like you're adding another instrument onto the beat. Then after he has that melody, he can go through and kind of figure out what words fit best into that melody to match the story or the topic that I'm wanting to talk about in this song. But the important thing is to focus especially when you're really doing this type of freestyle method of recording, is just focus on nailing that melody and getting the most catchy ideas that you possibly can without thinking too much about words. If you're trying to find words that rhyme perfectly or include certain phrases to match your story and you're just really not thinking about the melody, especially in melodic songs like this, a lot of times the lyrics are less important than those melodies. So really focusing on what sounds best, what fits the vibe of the song, and what really just gives your ear that sound that's catchy, right? That gets stuck in your head, that hook needs to be really contagious. And so in order to do that, I think putting more focus on melody first, then focusing on lyrics second is really cool thing to do. The fourth takeaway that I got from this particular session is that more time does not equal a better song. So many times when we're working on music or working on a song in our own home studio, we tend to really over massage things and just overthink things really. So we maybe come up with the beat in one session and then we decide, maybe I'll come back another day and write something to this. Then that second day we come back, we write maybe like one idea, or we come up with a few different lyrics here and there, and then we kind of lose inspiration, so we move on to another project. Then maybe a week or two later, or another couple days, we get back and we finally start finalizing that chorus and maybe a first verse, but then it just kind of sits there and collects dust on your hard drive, right? Like, how do we actually finish these songs and know that the amount of time we're putting in is actually giving us better results? I think more times than none, you'll find that thinking less and just feeling more is going to be the way to go about this. I talk about this in my full course. There's a whole module on mindset, and I talk about left mind versus right mind thinking when it comes to making music. In my opinion, you want to stay in that right mind way of thinking, which is the creative and kind of artistic way of thinking, versus the left mind, which is more logistical and technical. So when it comes to writing and coming up with ideas, I think letting the music flow through you and just kind of thinking as little as possible and creating more, you're able to get the ideas that you wanted out, as well as you're able to just kind of finish the song quickly without overthinking, is that perfect, is that right? If it feels good, it is good. That's going to be the best way to get your ideas out and not worry about having that curse of overthinking plague us. Now, the fifth and final takeaway that I got from this particular session is that all you really need is one solid lead vocal. It doesn't take a lot of vocal production, layering, or background vocals to get a hit song. Obviously, this is going to be dependent on the kind of artist that you are or the style of vocalist that you are, but you can tell in this song, as soon as he got one lead vocal that he was happy with, that was enough to really shine and really make people want to sing along with the song and make the song feel full and complete. Now, obviously, he had some ad-libs and a couple other things in the background, a little bit of ear candy, but you can tell he's not layering his chorus with like 5 different layers or having 2 different layers on his verse to give it that thicker sound. I find so many beginner artists that I work with tend to have multiple layers of vocals. I don't know if this is because they're trying to have multiple takes so you can go through and pick the best one, or if they really just feel like they only get a good sound out of their voice if they layer 2 vocals on top of each other. Either way, this is usually only desired if you're really going for that doubled vocal sound or that kind of layered, thick chorus sound. Oftentimes, it only takes one solid lead vocal to really shine through. And if you can't get a good, catchy vocal from just one lead take, well, then maybe the take isn't solid enough, and maybe you need to go back and re-record that until you're really happy with it all on its own. Your lead vocal should stand alone and sound amazing all by itself. Then, if you chose to add extra background vocals or extra production to this song, you'll find that it only enhances that lead vocal instead of taking away from it and just muddying things up with confusing layers that really are unintentional and not meant to be there. Clean recordings are so important when it comes to getting a good sounding mix. I honestly feel like having a clean recording is the #1 hack for getting a clean vocal mix, because if you have a bad recording, whether that be the actual performance is bad or the quality of the recording is bad, or maybe you're clipping or distorting or something like that, you're going to have a nightmare of a time in the mix because the vocal wasn't even captured properly to begin with. If you have a really solid recording, really solid performance, awesome melodies, awesome lyrics, everything just kind of feels right in the recording stage, well then once you get to the mixing stage, things are going to be a breeze and you're going to find that you get the sound that you need instantly. Now, if you are struggling with getting a clean recording still, then I suggest that you check out this video right over here. This video is going to break down my exact methods and the keys to getting a perfectly clean recording. Trust me, after you watch this video, you'll have no issues getting clean and proper recordings that'll make for perfect mixes every time. With proper recording techniques like this, you're sure to capture the vibe for your next hit song. I'll see you in the next video.